Good evening and welcome to the 2020 Mayor's State of the City Address. Here now is Calabasas Mayor Alicia Weintraub.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining me at our 2020 Mayor's Virtual State of the City Address. I want to first start off by thanking my colleagues. I want to start by introducing Mayor Pro Tem James Bazagian.
Hello.
Council Member Mary Sue Maurer.
Hello.
Council Member Fred Gaines. And Council Member David Shapiro. I want to thank all of you for your commitment to the city and for supporting me as mayor this year. It has been a team effort in everything that we have done for the city, so thank you. I also want to introduce and thank Ray Taylor, our interim city manager. He stepped up to join us at the city during very turbulent times, and he has provided us exceptional leadership. So thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Alicia.
I want to also thank our staff and department heads for everything that they've done to keep this city running. Even when City Hall has been physically closed, our staff has been working tirelessly around the clock to serve our residents. I want to acknowledge and thank our city commissioners, the elected officials who represent us at the state level, and my colleagues at our adjacent cities. We've all been working on as a team to support the community. I also want to give a big thank you to the residents who have been there for each other and to support our community. So thank you to everyone. I would like to ask everyone to rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight, we have created a short video since we all can't be here together. Thank you, and welcome to the 23rd Annual Calabasas Mayor's State of the City Address. Like everything else in our lives, this year's speech is a lot different. Unfortunately, I can't personally say hello to each of you and thank you for your support during these challenging times. But through technology, I want to do exactly that. It is the residents, businesses, the sheriff and fire departments, Calabasas Chamber of Commerce, city staff, commissioners, and elected officials that make our city so special, and I know are the key to helping Calabasas emerge stronger and better than ever. I'd like to recognize my fellow council members, Mayor Pro Tem James Bazagian, Fred Gaines, Mary Sue Maurer, and David Shapiro for the great work they've done year in and year out on behalf of our city. I'd also like to take this moment to thank my family for all their support. You have helped me navigate what has sometimes been some pretty turbulent waters. I took an oath as mayor of Calabasas on December 11th, 2019. That was only 36 weeks ago, a relatively short amount of time, but in some ways it feels like a lifetime ago. So much has happened in those months. We had a terrible helicopter crash in our city, the city manager resigned, and we've seen nationwide protests over policing and racism. We had 3 such protest marches in our city. I'm very pleased to say that all were peaceful. Right after the protest, in coordination with the Mayor's Youth Council, we hosted the city's first ever conversation on race and change and discussed important issues taking place in our community. This was just the start to making meaningful changes even in our own community. Perhaps the challenge we continue to face as individuals and as a community is the global health pandemic, putting our residents and community in harm's way and paralyzing our local economy. But the good news is we're making real progress, and I firmly believe that by working together, the best days lie ahead. As a city, we've had to change the way we do things, but we've adapted, and despite the hardships, no city services have changed. City planning staff has worked extensively with LA County to assist in the review and approval of applications for local renters to receive rental relief assistance from a county-wide program funded by the Federal CARES Act. We initiated our $500,000 Open Small Business Grants program that is providing one-time emergency grants up to $10,000 to eligible Calabasas-based small businesses. We are working to help businesses stay open by allowing them to operate outdoors. We have over half a dozen businesses approved for temporary use permits to move their indoor operations outdoors. Other businesses have applied for these permits, and we are working with them to make sure they follow all the rules to ensure public health, safety, and ADA access requirements. We've scheduled regular calls with elected officials to keep our business owners up to date. We teamed with LA County and other organizations to set up the LA County Regional COVID-19 Recovery Fund to offer loans and grants to micro entrepreneurs, small businesses, and nonprofits. We addressed commercial evictions and ensured that commercial tenants with fewer than 10 employees are permitted an additional year to repay any past due rent, and commercial tenants with 10 to 100 employees are permitted an additional 6 months to repay any past due rent. We established a fine for not wearing masks and enforced an ordinance to prohibit larger gatherings. The goal was not to be punitive in any way, rather to let our community know we are serious about keeping everyone as safe as possible. We even bought banners for businesses to let people know that they were open. If you've driven through our community, I'm sure you've seen them. Calabasas has always been a very business-friendly city with no city business tax and no city business license. Under the leadership of Ron Allers and the Finance Department, we have the highest credit rating for a city our size with both Moody's and Standard & Poor's. We are very proud of the fact that Calabasas is home to 6 of the top 25 companies in the San Fernando Valley. Earlier this year, I was proud to introduce the Mayor's Business Outreach Program, where I would personally meet with 3 business owners a month. Then the coronavirus changed everything. The impact on our local businesses is greater than anyone could have ever predicted. But it didn't stop our efforts, and we dedicated ourselves to doing whatever was necessary to keep both our community's businesses and residents healthy. We've applied this perspective to every aspect of the city. Our Community Development Department, headed by Maureen Tamori, has done an amazing job of adapting to this new reality. Because planning, permitting, and code enforcement are considered essential services, Community Development worked quickly to provide continuity of services by working remotely. Working with the Communications Department, they updated the city's new website to provide permitting information online. Through various statewide grant programs, the Planning Division has secured more than $300,000 in grant funding to update the city's housing element in order to provide safe, affordable housing for our community. Our efforts to keep our residents safe and healthy have extended beyond our pandemic response. My first order of business as mayor was to meet with representatives from each HOA and neighborhood group with our sheriff and fire department to discuss ways to improve evacuation and communications. We are constantly working on issues related to fire and earthquake safety. The Planning Division will start working on a comprehensive update of the city's wireless ordinance to provide better access to a reliable wireless network to serve the needs of the community. A first-rate city like Calabasas needs technology that reflects this, and our current wireless services do not provide adequate service, especially in times of emergencies. Under the direction of Jim Jordan, our public safety and emergency preparedness staff has obtained coronavirus PPE for all city staff, provided daily COVID-19 updates from LA County to Calabasas City Council, city manager, and department heads, and has coordinated use of new standardized evacuation terminology with LA County Fire to make future evacuations run more smoothly and effectively. And the city can now send a wireless emergency alert to every cell phone in Calabasas, whether the resident has opted in or not. We're continuing the Woolsey fire rebuilds with 2 homes on Parkmore under construction, and all new homes in Calabasas are now required to be fully sprinklered and designed to be resistant to wildfires. The codes also move new construction one step closer to 100% sustainability by raising standards for solar power, energy efficiency, and water conservation. City staff coordinated with the sheriff to increase the number of tobacco sting operations in 2019 and 2020, resulting in the revocation of 3 retailers' licenses. Additionally, the City Council updated the city's tobacco retailer registration ordinance to prohibit the sale of e-cigarettes and vaping products. Through our relationship with Lost Hills Sheriff Station, we are tackling street racing and other activities that impact the quality of life in our community. We also added a new chapter to the City Health and Safety Code prohibiting the establishment of outdoor playgrounds for youth within 500 feet of the freeway. This restriction will reduce youth exposure to dangerous freeway pollution, which are linked to numerous disease and developmental issues in children. During times of crisis, effective and accurate information is more important than ever, and our communications department, led by Michael Russo, have been nothing short of phenomenal, using social media, the new city website, the Calabasas TV channel, and the Calabasas AM radio station to keep residents informed. Working remotely and in the office around the clock, they've worked tirelessly to make sure residents had the latest COVID-related information coming from the federal, state, and county governments. I've also sent out a weekly letter to the community, updating residents and businesses on the latest information on the COVID-19 response, as well as other important events and news. The number of the city's followers on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Nextdoor has increased substantially in the past year, meaning more people are getting news and updates when they need them. Communications also produced videos featuring LVUSD teachers and administrators on how best to cope with distance learning, interviewed mental health professionals, and working with community services made classes available online that would normally be held at the Senior Center or elsewhere. 3,000 Calabasas residents now take our courses on everything from fitness to fine art through Zoom. Speaking of community services, Jeff Rubin and his staff have also done an incredible job during these trying times. Through the Calabasas Mask Initiative, they got hundreds of masks to people most at risk, converted the recreation brochure to an online-only version, and this year we even celebrated our first virtual 4th of July. They developed a call-in system for aquatic and fitness reservations, completed the construction of the Wild Walnut Temporary Dog Park, and agreed to a 5-year renewal of the AC Stell Joint Use Agreement with LVUSD. Even during a pandemic, public works are essential, and Robert Yalda and his staff continue to keep our city moving. Last October, Public Works completed the 2019 street resurfacing project, repaving a section of Las Virgenes Road and Old Town Calabasas, while also resurfacing 8 residential streets throughout the city. The Calabasas Traffic Signal and Interconnect project was completed in November, replacing antiquated traffic signals and enabling remote controls of signals, improving traffic flow. The sidewalk repair project fixed 4,803 square feet of damaged sidewalks throughout the city. Public Works is currently working on the Rondell Smart Park project and undertaking the Mulholland Highway Corridor Study to improve safety for all residents. They've also developed a schedule and a process of cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting the city's transit stops, public trash cans, dog waste disposal stations, and high-traffic areas to protect our residents from contracting or spreading the virus. 2 new electric vehicle charging stations were completed with a total of 4 fast chargers installed at De Anza Park and the Tennis and Swim Center, fully funded by grants. During this unprecedented time, Barbara Lockwood and her staff have made sure that the Calabasas Library has remained a cultural and educational hub for our city. 880 new patrons signed up for the Cloud Library, and from March to July, 18,000 Cloud Library ebooks were checked out, a 60% increase over the previous year, and enabling people to make their shelter-at-home time more enriching and entertaining. Canopy streaming use has increased by over 500%. Through the efforts of staff who have worked remotely or at the library every day, we have continued to offer a full range of programs for the public, ranging from film fanatics to the book club to the Teen Library Council and more. The summer reading program was highly successful, offering a free slate of online programming for community members of all ages. You can even pick up a library book in person by calling the library and making an appointment. The City Clerk's office has overseen the implementation of Zoom City Council meetings, and residents can stay up to date and even interact with me and my fellow council members in real time. Calabasas has always been proud of our award-winning schools, and we continue to work with LVUSD Superintendent Dan Stepanowski and Viewpoint Headmaster Mark McKee in the transition in the classroom experience for our students. We continue to fund our local schools with grants to ensure adequate resources, and I'm very proud to work with our community's youth through the Mayor's Youth Council. I'd also like to take a moment to offer our sincere thanks to our interim city manager, Ray Taylor. He stepped up at a critical time for our city and has done a great job of helping to keep us pointed in the right direction. We are excited to be naming our new permanent city manager within the coming weeks, but we are deeply appreciative for all that Ray has done. When I was sworn in just 36 weeks ago, I could never have imagined what 2020 would have in store. Certainly, it has been a difficult, challenging time, but it has also helped me see the best in our community. Our resilience, our compassion, and our commitment to sticking together to persevere. It has been my honor to serve as your mayor. I look forward to the time when our community can come back together, face to face, and enjoy all the in-person activities and programming that are so special to Calabasas. Tough times don't last. Working together, Calabasas will continue to build a healthy, safe, and secure future for all of us. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for watching our virtual State of the City. So this is the time when the mayor normally recognizes and presents an award for the Citizen of the Year. But since nothing is typical about this year, neither will the award for Citizen of the Year. So this year's recipient is you, the residents of Calabasas. Each of you have been through so much this year, and we want to honor you. We want to thank you. Your commitment to our community and putting others ahead of yourself has been tremendous. Everyone has been committed to keeping our community healthy, keeping your neighbors healthy, your family, and your friends. And we all just want to say thank you. It is truly an honor to be your mayor, and our city staff and my fellow council members take great pride every day in serving you. So thank you so much, and we look forward to the time that we can be back again doing what we all love to do in Calabasas. So good night, stay safe, and thank you again for joining us tonight. Thank you.